They are beautiful at a glance, iconic in Florida, but what you're not seeing is the threat you've never heard of, slowly chipping away at our state's citrus industry and your pocketbook. Tonight, a closer look, because now there are new concerns about how scientists plan to fight that. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Jane Monreal. Fox 4's Frank Sapola has a look at the toll protecting paradise could take on your health.
It's called citrus greening disease, and it is slowly killing the fruit that this state is famous for. Most of us haven't even heard of it, even as we pay more and more for citrus at the supermarket. The bigger concern, however, is that the plan to slow the progression of this disease, as scientists work on a solution, could put us all at risk. Florida's orange groves are being attacked by a microscopic assassin.
It's been a huge challenge for citrus growers.
It's a deadly bacteria carried inside this small insect, the Asian citrus psyllid. The bug in its cargo, a bacteria called Shonolambing, likely hitched a ride on a freighter from Asia that docked 2 decades ago or more in Miami. From there, it found its way inland to feast on the citrus trees Florida is famous for. And because of the bacteria it carries, the Florida Department of Citrus says citrus production is a third of what it was just 15 years ago.
The risk is enormous, and it can be quite discouraging.
Paul Metter and I recently walked through one of his orange groves east of Naples. His family has been growing citrus in the state for 4 generations. And he has never seen anything like it.
But one of the symptoms of one lung being is that dark seed.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that dark seed is, how it's discolored?
Right.
It should be bright white. And that's one of the symptoms of the bacteria.
For growers, it takes about 6 years for a tree to start making money. But because of this deadly bacteria, which cuts off the flow of nutrients from bark to branch, some trees don't even last a year.
That's the worst case scenario. You've got all this money in this tree, and you get to the point where you think you've got a crop so it can start paying its own bills, and the fruit falls on the ground.
Aside from Brazil, Florida produces more oranges than any place in the world, and that's why eradicating this bacteria is so important. It's a $9 billion industry, and it employs 70,000 Floridians. But this is 2 stories in one, because the strategy to slow down the bacteria's progression could make things worse. Orange growers could soon receive permission to increase the amount of human antibiotics they spray on citrus trees. According to the Center for Biological Diversity, an estimated 650,000 pounds. That's almost 50 times more than doctors use to treat patients in the U.S. every year.
If you overuse antibiotics, it's going to create bacteria that are really strong and can resist those. And then if those bacteria make us sick, we might not be able to get cured easily.
In her office at Lee County Health, Dr. Mary Beth Saunders is already seeing cases of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. She worries that common bacteria could mutate to create so-called superbugs.
We try and stay ahead of the curve, but that curve is sometimes unpredictable, and new very bad bacteria at times can occur that we may not have developed an antibiotic for.
Back among the rows and rows of orange trees, Paul Metter's concerns are focused on the now. His family has been able to weather the storm, but he sees smaller growers giving up and orange prices going up. For him, it's personal. His family legacy is at stake as he watches the trees he knows so well slowly die.
Trees are a lot like humans. Some withstand disease better than others.
A couple of things to remember. First, until further notice, we can expect to spend more and more for citrus at the supermarket. And second, even though spraying is limited to leaves and branches, some of the antibiotics and chemicals do get onto the skin of the orange. And as an extra level of protection, growers say you may want to wash the rind with soap and water before cutting into it. Frank Sapola, Fox 4, in your corner.